Welcome back to the podcast. It's your boy K Sloan, Jay Jones, and two lovely ladies coming in to help us. Ayona, who's been on multiple now. You like a seasoned vet. I'll say like a seasoned vet in the game. And then I'll let our other guest introduce herself first, and then we'll roll all around with our own introduction. So
I'm Tanyelle Waivers. I am an actor, New Orleanian, and I'm happy to be here.
yeah.
Oh, your baby.
Thank you. And then go ahead, Ayona.
I am Ayona. I'm an educator. Just moved back to Dallas, so I'm off the summer. So, why not join the podcast?
Why not? Thank you.
I'm Jerell Jones, football coach, mentor, educator. Try to wear many hats, but vice president of Fearless Foundation, and happy to be here, bring light.
Absolutely. And I just want to take this time, before Jerell takes it over, to say thank you, Jerell, since, it's been a little minute now, a couple months. We just started this joint, and Jerell been like really, me and him been going hard as far as like, just working and staying consistent. So dude really been, helping me hold us down. So I appreciate that, bro. I'm gonna go ahead and put that out there in the air. But Jay Jones, go ahead. Take it, man. Take it from here.
All right. Well, first and foremost, let me pull up the topics.
Not cap it. I mean, what would you get?
Oh,
Yeah,
well, Tampa no cap. I forgot.
Yeah,
It's my first time doing that.
Yeah.
All right. So I have a little situation that y'all gonna. So if y'all think it's cap, y'all know cap is lying. No cap. I'm telling the truth right now. All right. So I'm gonna start it off. So today, I went to work. I was working, doing some mentorship, and this lady told me, she was like, I need you to go talk to 4 crackheads, and they're gonna meet you in this building, and we actually need you to talk to them about, like, motivate them to find coping strategies to get off drugs. So I went to the building, and the 4 crackheads were there, and I talked to them, and one actually called me. He was like, hey, man, you're an angel. Like, I'm so glad you showed up today. You're an angel, and I think it's going to change my life. And then another one said that I was a superhero. They're like, man, this speech was so great. I feel like you're a superhero. And then the other 2 really didn't say much. I think they were like, hey, I'm not getting off crack. Like, no matter what you say, I'm going to do what I do. So do y'all believe that is true, or am I capping?
No cap.
I want her to go first because she's looking at me funny.
No cap. I'm gonna go ahead and get that out the way. Go ahead.
You say what?
No cap.
No cap. That's true.
I kind of think it's true too.
Tanyelle, you know me.
I think it's true.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hey.
And Jay Jones, I feel like just because I know the type of person you are, I feel like that's not hard to believe. You know what I'm saying? So.
Well, it actually happened. Like,
Yeah.
literally. It actually happened. I was hoping y'all, yeah. I had to go speak to some people today, and they were all on drugs. They were like, man, thank you for coming out, and it really helped, and yeah, so.
How did you feel afterwards?
Yeah.
It was a little draining because one of them started, he was like, I know we all men, so I can't cry. And I was like, no, let it out, cry. And he was like, he cried, and he was like, man, I know I just met you, but you're like a big brother. And you know me, I'm a jokester. So I was like, well, you're 50 and I'm like 30, so I'm like a little brother. And I just tried to keep it. But after it was kind of draining because it was like, man, all that emotion that was in there was kind of like, when I got home, I worked out.
This dude, man, like you just like Santa Claus or something, bro. Like, stop doing so much good out here, bro.
God sent me.
Stop doing so much good out here, bro.
I feel like too much is given, much is required. Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? Like that. Yeah.
But yeah, okay, let's get on. Let's get off my cap or no cap, which was no cap. But
that wasn't a good one, by the way.
It was not.
That was so you. That was easy. Like,
I was gonna go ahead and put that out there.
And not only it was like something of your character, it was how you was explaining it.
Yeah.
You created a whole visual in my mind. Like, And
Sloan.
you a jokester. It's just how you was explaining it too kind of gave it away from me. I don't know about y'all.
Sloan, we talked about this earlier, and you said it was gonna be cool.
I'm with you.
You
Huh?
said it was gonna be cool, Sloan.
Huh?
Oh.
You said it was gonna be cool earlier.
I did. My
Okay,
fault.
we good. We off that.
I'll take it from here from now on, bro.
Yeah, I can't cap. I've never been a good. Since I've been a kid. Real talk. This is right hand to the man. This is my right hand. My mama said you were the worst liar in the world. Cause I never could lie.
You gotta keep it real, huh? That's good though. That's a good quality to have, bro.
2 points for trying. 2 points.
2 points for he get him. We're gonna go ahead and give him 2.
All right, we off that.
We off there. Go ahead, bro.
All right. I mean, Tanyelle, what you being new, we haven't heard much. Well, I guess anything from you on the show. So we kind of want you to talk about yourself. You said you're an actress. So what have you been on? What have you done? Can you give us a little say hi to Nugget too?
Oh yeah, sorry y'all. That's my dog. He's very spoiled. I am reoccurring on a TV show called Queen Sugar on the Open Network. I have done right after, in the middle of that, I've done a movie called Ma, starring Octavia Spencer. I've also done a few commercials, Coca-Cola commercial. My first ever thing I booked, and I'm just starting to become confident at admitting this. It's just weird. I don't know. Maybe it's an actor thing. It's hard to explain. Like your first ever thing that you do, it's like your first day of school. It's just like, a little awkward. But I did a Christian Mingle commercial. It was my very first thing that I booked. Yeah. Yeah. It was something that made my parents proud. Because when I told them I was an actor, I wanted to get into this. It was like, what? It wasn't.
They weren't very supportive.
They supported me, but they be they like, okay, maybe. Okay. But I've done that. I have done and a few smaller roles on other shows. There's a Netflix show called Family Reunion I've done, and Roots. They did like a 4-part series on A&E and like History Channel. I don't know if y'all saw it.
Oh yeah, I just watched that.
Yeah, I've done that as well. And I have something coming out called Dear Zoe. It's gonna be on Netflix next year.
Miss Superstar.
Yeah.
That's what I call it.
So you send me some autograph.
It's just the beginning. It's just the beginning. God willing.
That's dope. That's cool.
Yeah.
I feel like, go ahead, Jadon.
No, you go ahead.
Nah, I was gonna say, man, like, with doing all that stuff, did you go to school for this or did you?
I did not. It was a big risk. It was definitely something. I just woke up one day and I was like, I feel like, to be honest, it's something that's been following me and I've never noticed it. So I feel like it was always with me. I just never listened to it. I never acknowledged it. From fear. Most of my life I've done things based on what other people told me I should do. Oh, you look like you should do this, and oh, you're good at that, you should do that, instead of going through that process and trying multiple things and figuring out what I want. But I didn't go to school for it. But it's always been with me in a way.
That's dope, man. That's dope. Yeah. I'm always with people following their passion, man. That's dope. Yeah. Keep that going for sure.
Definitely.
So, man, I'm trying to pick up some seeds from some of y'all, man. Ayona give me seeds all the time. She in my profession, we teacher, so
yeah.
He's
man,
just
take risks. My biggest advice to people. People want to get into the industry and just overall is just don't be afraid to take risks, because you're always going to win in the end, in my opinion. It opens you up and makes you more confident, and it gives you more information that you never knew. It helps build you to become this well-rounded person of information. And now you know what I mean? It's like you never know until you try it. So, and that's kind of what I did. And it ended up working out.
You keep that going.
Groundwork.
Yeah.
Groundwork, no?
Yeah. 100.
Groundwork.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we all have careers. So, what about Ayona? What was some groundwork you think you had to do to be like a teacher, educator?
I would say the same thing. She said, take risks, because I was actually going to school for nursing at first because that's what everybody was telling me I should do because, oh, you'll always have a job. It's a good field. You make a lot of money, blah, blah, blah. So I went to school for nursing at first, and I was like, this is not what I want to do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I ended up changing over to teaching. I liked it. Went and got my master's so I could move up in the field because I feel like once I got into the field, I really realized how these low income students really need really good educators, especially ones that look like them. And so
Mhm.
now I'm kind of debating, do I want to go back and get my doctorate? Because they have a really good program of U of H. But that's still, I'm still kind of thinking about it.
UH, baby, H time. But that's nice.
Yeah.
I talking about starting in something. I started in accounting because I like numbers. I like math. And but I always wanted to be the person that helped the next generation. And then my department head in accounting was like, hey man, in accounting you be sitting in a cubicle for 8 hours a day typing numbers and you won't like socialize much. And I was like, huh?
Yeah,
He's like,
like
you should go. You're such a social guy. Like, you should go do something socially. And I was like, coaching football, so I can like build a platform. Then from there, help the next generation. So I
Are you
started off.
still, are you still going to, didn't you say you was teaching some kind of classes?
I was gonna go do the business computer stuff, the BCIS, all that easy stuff. No real subject. Like, yeah.
yeah, you ain't trying to get into the testing realm.
I ain't trying to have
stress.
no star test and nothing. So,
The
but no, yeah.
stress.
Nah, man. And to add to what Jay Jones saying with the groundwork, kind of, laying it down. I started out, general studies when I went to college, just based on I was trying to play football. So it wasn't really like had a plan in place of what was gonna happen. Then I went from psychology majoring to sports recreation management to become a coach, then get the degree and then go get the master's in the same degree and then end up not even wanting to do anything with the degree, right after college. And then Jerell and I worked together as mental health professionals. Then I, had a wild thought and I was like, man, I want to be a teacher. So I hit Ayona up, got a lesson plan from her, literally walked into the interview with a lesson plan she made and like taught the principles, you know what I'm saying? Like based on like, this is how I would do it. And they gave me a job. But I love teaching. And I still think there's a lot that I want to do. And, Tanyelle, it's funny you said that about taking those risks and how you can't lose because I'm still building the groundwork of, just trying to help people. You know what I'm saying? That's the main goal for me is just finding more ways to help people. I don't think I'm married to any one thing yet. My main purpose in life, I feel like, is just to try to find more ways to help. If we can do that, if I can get a collective group together of people that, we all together, we on the same path, same drive for people in general, I feel like that I'll be fulfilled. And I don't really know what that looks like yet all the way around, and I'm, I ain't scared to say that. So I think, but building that groundwork, we got to be grinders first. Like you can't say you want to do something and then not put work in. And I think that's where some people get it twisted. And they be dreamers, but they're not executors.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They got
Right. But I think, the groundwork teaches you so much. That's the thing about it. Like people, they just want to appear as the actress or the college football coach or it's like that groundwork when you working for pennies almost, you learning so much though. You're really working for the experience. So.
Right. And I think that's the biggest part of it too, because once you think about it, once you hit your goal, then what? So you might as well just, for me, leaving my job to pursue acting, I literally started at the bottom. I had 4 jobs at one time. I'm serving, still that's still a possibility, you know what I mean? Because Corona's cheap.
Yeah. It's wild out here.
But my thing is, like, you might as well just enjoy the process and make sure you just, like you said, just be consistent and just do it. You just have to like continue to just make sure you are doing something, and within that doing something, find a way to enjoy it, because that's most of the time. Once you hit your goal, then you worry about the next one. So it's hard to do, but what helped me was just the people that I'm surrounded by, God, and everything that I consume, from the things that I watch, from my followers on Instagram, like everything in my life right now, I've become so intentional about the energies that's within it, to make sure that it doesn't, because the process is already hard. It's already hard. So I can't afford to have anything in my life that's going to make it even harder.
Man,
So best I could do is what I could do. And I'm going to choose to, I have to cut you off. I have to say no. I have to not eat that.
yeah.
I have to get up. You know what I mean? And the older we get, I mean, we're adults now, especially when you get to this age, like, and older, you have to hold yourself accountable.
Yep. Ain't
You
enough
have to.
time.
Like, you
Ain't
don't
enough
have
time.
time is not stopping for nobody. We don't know when our last day is gonna come, so you just got to get up and do it. And like, there's no more excuses for it. There's no more excuses for it. And to get through it is to find a way to enjoy it. That's how I do it, at least. This all in between time until I get to where my goal is, which is on HBO one day, y'all. I'm gonna be on HBO.
Yeah, I believe it. I
We
believe
believe
it.
it. You said it on. You said it.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna play this back. Whenever you get on there, we're gonna be like, "Hey, you remember that? Remember
You
that?"
spoke into existence. You manifested that.
But like, but that dream you just said, that's actually something we're gonna talk about. The importance of dreaming, like for everybody. Like, just I think the importance of having that dream, that goal, that end goal. And like you said, when you reach that, something else. I think kids, like I mean, in my family, like you said about your parents, Tanyelle, I remember the older people when I used to be like, I'm playing NFL, and they're like, well, you know, it's real hard to, you know, they always shot down your dreams almost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like when you want to do something like an astronaut or a doctor or a nurse, you know, they always like, well, you know, it's gonna take. You're like, man, just tell me, go ahead and do it. You know, it's like the importance of dreaming for these youngins. If a kid tell me he's gonna be the next person that walk on the moon and go to Mars, I'm gonna be like, hey, man, you know, what's your steps to doing it? Instead of saying, you know, only one person, you know. So I think dreaming is huge. So that HBO thing gonna happen. I believe that. But
Thank you.
what's y'all take on the importance of dreaming, having a big dream?
I always like to, for my students, like this is my little metaphor I use with my students. I always ask them, you know, what are your goals in life? What is it that you want to do? And of course, sometimes they be like, I don't know, miss. I'm not thinking about that. I don't know. And I always tell people, you know, would you get inside of a car and go somewhere without having a destination in mind? Would you just go somewhere, just drive? If you just drive, you can end up anywhere. If you just get in the car and drive, you can end up going down the wrong path. Just like in life, if you don't have a goal or an end goal, you can end up going down the wrong path, and then it's over. So I always tell my students, you need to make sure you have a goal. You know, what is it you want to do? What kind of money do you want to make? Do you want to support a family? And once you get that, you need to do whatever it takes to get there so that you don't go down the wrong path. So I think it's very important just for people to at least have a goal. That way they have something to work towards so they won't go down that wrong path in life.
Definitely.
I agree.
Yeah.
And to add to that, man, I do agree. Like, you know, those goals that's the roadmap, you know, like you said, that's how you know, okay, when I'm kind of off a little bit, when I refer back to my goals, then, this is where I need to be. It kind of like sets up that next step. And I just want to say, you know, like for like kids, you know, we had to make sure us as adults don't impress on the younger generation our experiences of, you know, like you said, Jay, you can't do that because I've seen this already. You're not going to be able to just, you know, become an astronaut when you're 15 or something like that. You know, something crazy. If a kid says something crazy, I just literally be like, why you say that? I just want to know. Like I'll ask them, why you say that? And sometimes they give you some good ration behind it. I go, okay, I'll leave it at that. And I'll let the world teach you, you know, your experiences. I'm not going to sit there. Like my daughter, she's 7 years old. She says some wild stuff. Like she got the most vivid imagination. Like it's really wild. And I just like listen sometimes because I know, like in my head, I'm thinking like, man, I don't know, but you know, I'm gonna let her dream because I think it's important. Like for me, I go to sleep every night and I be having some crazy dreams, bro. Like I'm glad, I'm thankful, I'm blessed because it's like it still gives me more to go out and hunt for. Like I still love to hunt because of these crazy dreams I got. Like I see outside of my current reality right now. You know, so far I'm like, shoot, well maybe that could happen. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep entertaining those thoughts. Who knows what it might turn into? And I think that's what we got to continue to encourage in everybody, man. We got to keep being just radical. You know what I'm saying? Like just keep seeing stuff that, you know, everybody else gonna say like, you probably can't do that doing this. And it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna keep it in my head. That's why I don't even tell everybody everything I'm, you know what I'm saying, dreaming. Yeah. You know what always. Yeah, because your family, they're the worst about it. Your family will shoot your stuff right out the sky, boy. You be riding your little high horse. You tell them about it, and they be like, oh, and you be like, dang, like, why you gotta do me like that? But
other people's opinions comes from what they've experienced. Like, you know what I mean? They just, they speak from their perspective and from what they lived through. You know what I mean? And not my road don't look like your road. I probably could do that. You know what I mean? It's just everyone's different. Sometimes God will come in and throw a wrench in my road. We could be going for the same goal, but he will throw in a detour in mine that can be really good or really bad for me, but I will still get there. So that's just that right there goes into what I was saying about like being aware of the people you keep around you and what you consume. Because first of all, our mind, we only use so much of it, so we can only intake and process so much of it. And if you get in too many different people's opinion and perspective, it's just putting you, it's wasting time. You know what I mean? You won't be able to make a efficient decision.
And then what you said real quick, Tanyelle, I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
But what that made me think about was like what you eat as well. Like when you had like about the stuff you consume, even like what you eat. Like I'm trying to like clean up my diet. So like when I'm consuming all those processed foods, what it's doing is it's making it hard for my body to digest the good stuff.
You have to slow down and just.
Hey, Sloan.
Right.
Show them the cleanse. Show them the super cleanse.
Oh boy.
Show them what you got, brother.
Promo.
Super clean.
I'm trying to get on the juicing. You know what I'm
saying?
Like,
that's what you talking about earlier?
Huh?
That's what you was talking about earlier today?
And I'm trying to make sure that I'm consuming the right stuff so that, you know, when it comes down and it passes through my body, then now I'm like, you know, actually giving my body nutrients. I'm like helping my mood. I'm like raising my serotonin levels. I'm trying to, you know, think clear. I'm trying to be like drinking more water, sleep more, like so that, you know, when my body is right, then now when I'm projecting my energy out, I'm giving the good energy to the good people and the good people giving it back to me. And now we are, you know what I'm saying? Now we can all, you know, have that law of attraction going, right? The law of attraction. So I'm trying to
positive vibes. Well, since y'all all believe and dream so much, I want to hear y'all 5-year plan. Who want to go first?
You do, Jay Jones.
I do. All right, really my 5-year plan is like Kerry kind of was saying, I want to put a team together to probably do a nonprofit or some camps, get a building. I just want it to be like the best nonprofit I can put together with a team. I want the best team I can put together, and I want to help the next generation. Going from football camps, well, not even football camps, athletic camps, to me getting people to speak to them, to me having classes on stocks and saving money and just whoever I can find and somebody is. I have a lot of friends that are experts in their own field, and just kind of like teaching this young generation that it's not a limit. Like the sky is the limit. You can do whatever you want to do. So that's what I was saying earlier about shooting down dreams. I'm like the person that's the last person that'll do that. I mean, if you tell me you're gonna be better than LeBron, I'm like, hey, you better put in the work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's my 5-year plan. I mean, and day by day, I have a lot of friends that I tell this to basically try to put the team together because I know I can't do it by myself. So I mean, that's the big thing. I want to have positive people that is gonna put in the work, and then if we get a building and kind of go from there. So my 5-year plan is to be part owner, co-owner, whatever, vice president. I don't care my title, but just be a part of something to help the next generation. So.
Yeah.
Okay. I kind of want to do something kind of similar with kids. I do plan to go back to school. I'll probably go back next year to get my doctorate, most likely, but we'll see what happens because I owe a lot of student loans. We're going to see about the student loans.
Man, you going to have it anyway. You going to owe people money anyway. Trump will take care of that. Trump got
Make it back. You're gonna make it back.
Yeah, that's true. But I probably will go. I always told myself if I get my master's, I'm gonna get my doctorates. And I don't want to be old and be like, oh my God, I should have did that. I said I was gonna do it. I don't want to do that. So I probably will end up going back. But in about 5 years, my 5-year goal, I got my master's in instructional leadership, and my focus was on curriculum and instruction. So I eventually want to get out the classroom and help write the curriculum for students, because I feel like sometimes some of the stuff that we teach kids, it doesn't really help because they're 21st century students. So we need to like do something that they can relate to so they can actually learn the material. So that's why I wanted to get my master's in curriculum and instruction, so I can be a curriculum writer to help teachers better teach the kids so that the kids can actually learn, because if they're not engaged, they're not learning the material. So I want to do that. And then eventually I want to help the low income students kind of basically get out there and kind of experience what's out there. Because when I did my student teaching, I did my student teaching at a more rich school with like more resources and more affluent communities. And I could see a big difference in like the resources they had at school and the resources they had at home. Well, in low income kids, they don't have any of those resources. So it's like they don't know what's out there for them. When I was teaching 7th grade, at the end of the school year, I did a project with my students, and I was like, I want y'all to do a big project for your final and talk about what do you want to do in about 10 to 15 years? Where do you see yourself? And one girl, she was saying she just wants to be like a manager of a clothing store. She thought that was like something so major. She thought that was going to be like a big deal. And I told her, I said, there's nothing wrong with doing that at all. But what about going to college and getting a degree in business, opening up your own clothing store? But they don't know those things because they're not exposed to it. So eventually I want to create a program where I can expose these kids to what's out there for them, different careers, and partner with different places, like so students can like meet engineers, go see what they do, go to a hospital, work with the nurses, kind of see what goes on, and just kind of really see what's out there for them because they don't have access to it at home. And I feel like that may help them see what's out there and help them say, hey, you know, I want to go to college now. I want to do this. I saw this and I want to do that. That's like my long-term goal.
I like it.
Was that ever a real thing? Y'all watched the episode of Smart Guy? This is a point. Remember that episode of Smart Guy where the teacher, they got assigned like an internship almost for like a week. They got different jobs, and like TJ, he was first like the lunch little kid at like a firm, and then he ended up making a comment during a meeting while he was delivering lunch, and then he ended up working with them, and his brother went to some other, but it anybody watch?
I ain't seen that one.
You went back, but I get what you're saying. Like,
yeah,
I know exactly what you're saying.
we can do that.
When I was growing up, I saw that. Like, that was a concept. I feel like I've seen it even not just on Smart Guy, but another like little show like that. But I just wanted to ask if that was a real thing. That's basically what you're saying. Just find different companies, big or small, and have them dedicate a week to, it could be 11th grade or whatever grade you think is appropriate for it. And that they take maybe, I don't know, an hour out of their day, and they go to different places and just really experience it you know? So yeah, that's a thing that I've heard, and I think is great. But it's always in my mind been like a thing I saw on TV. Like, that don't happen.
Some schools do.
In New Orleans.
Some schools do that. One of the schools I was going to get hired at here, they have a program, a STEM program, and they have something like that at their campus. But you know, it's a more affluent campus than the ones that are like in the lower communities. So it is a thing, but it's just that a lot of the kids from the low income campuses, they don't get to experience it, but other campuses do.
It's not very prevalent, Tanyelle, in our communities.
Basically.
Yes.
And it's no secret we talk about a 5-year plan, why I got these two on here with me that's saying similar things, because I have visions of these two in my 5-year plan in regards to helping us, you know, create mentorship programs, create opportunities for careers moving forward. It's funny we talking about manifesting. I don't even associate with people that's not trying to help people no more, just because I feel like in my 5-year plan, I want to go like so far in just helping the masses, man. Like, for real, like we gotta really get on our horse because, you know, we talked last show, Jay Jones, about the systemic racism and all that stuff and things like that. And I mean, our people need us. You know what I mean? Like our people of color, we really need each other. I mean, we really do. Like, I know, bump everybody else who's outside of us. We need each other.
Right.
We should come together every chance we get. And we coming together as people that, you know, we got an idea and we really want to, you know, we really want to positively impact our youth. I mean, sure, let's take off with it. And if we don't see it yet, let's build it. Let's create it. And let's empower ourselves while we're doing it, you know what I'm saying? So we can actually leave our footprint, you know what I'm saying, and leave a mark. So my 5-year plan does include putting a lot of money down, my own money. Like a lot of y'all, like I'm trying to, like, you know, get my return to get to a point where it won't hurt me and my family to, you know, invest in my dream. 5 years, that's what I want to see, me consistently putting back into, you know, the community that I'm from at some point here soon. You know, Ayona, you and I from Killeen, I want to be able to get to there as well as, you know, where I'm at now, and just kind of start seeing that, you know, seeing that build and try to help these kids, man, because they need it, man. They need it. We need more 10 years, you know what I'm saying? Like, we need to see more of that. We need more Ayonas, you know, going and trying to get your doctors as a young Black woman. You know what I'm saying? Y'all both under 10. Are you under 30 right now? Are you still under 30? Or are you 30?
No, I'm 30. No.
30? Okay, you 30. But still, you 30, you just 30. You feel me?
Yeah.
And you've done all that you've done already. And that's a testament to, I ain't gonna do you like that.
But you remember I told you. I told him. I told you. Don't ask a woman. Last show, what was it? One of these shows I said.
Yeah, look, she's about 21 though.
But you do it all the time. I'm like, stop asking women their age.
Oh, you do it all the time. I was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt.
I do it all the time. I do it all the time. I literally do it every time we have a female
I'm like, bro.
Stop that.
My bad, y'all. But you get what I'm saying though. Like, we need more
young Black women.
Do you get what we saying?
I get it.
Excuse me, people. We gotta go on a commercial break.
You
said it happened multiple times. I'm like,
I just be thinking in my head, like, man, how old is this person? Let me ask. And I'll be like, oh yeah, we don't.
No.
It's like national TV right now, bro. Like, what if?
To be honest, it's a thing. It's definitely a big thing in the acting world. But to be honest, my generation of performers, we don't care. Yeah. But I respect it. You know what I mean? So that's why I said it. But at the same, you know, it's definitely so I don't. If somebody asks me, I'm gonna tell them. To be honest, if somebody asks me, I'm gonna tell them. But I'm not gonna offer the information to at the same time.
Yeah. You ain't giving it out.
I don't either.
Yep.
Folks be trying to play me like I'm old. I be getting played. 33, right? I be like
33.
Wait, how old are you? 33?
No.
Oh. You got
that. Nah, man. For real, we need more. We need more, you know, of everybody on this call, really, because we don't have enough of it. And that's why, you know, I think that it's important that we give more to our generation, younger generation, so they have that confidence. Like, I can do this. They see it. They get exposed to it. So that's what I want to do. Go ahead.
Who didn't say they 5-year plan? Tanyelle?
Tanyelle didn't say her 5-year plan yet. We about to get
that. I ain't had to ask that. You knew I didn't.
She tried to get out of it with the age question. That's what it really was.
I was not. I've been waiting because I'm anxious because I love my 5-year plan.
Let's hear it.
Oh, okay.
So my 5-year plan is to be obviously work consistently in the industry. I just want, as soon as I come after something, give me a little break and then go on to the next thing. That is my passion. That is what I love to do. But I feel like my purpose is to give back to my community. Basically, a little bit of what everybody else is saying. But for me, what that looks like is a production company. And I don't want to, not to give y'all too much information.
Yeah. You know, you got to let it all out. But
a lot of it has to do with getting very hands-on with getting the right information out to the community. Okay. Things about politics, things about health, things about the arts, but it's gonna look something like that, and it's gonna be very local and very informative, very sexy, very fun, and very current. Because I feel like here, as far as in New Orleans, we're a little bit slower on things, and I think y'all can kind of relate to it being in the South. I just the whole region, I feel like we are at the back of the line with a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
So specifically for New Orleans, just to give people the right information. And for me, I think it's important to start locally. And I'm very passionate about, even though and I'm passionate about this because I don't know a lot about this right now, about politics and what does it take to get our people to make change.
Mm-hmm.
And I think here, just what I've been around, we don't know a lot in New Orleans. I run into people who don't even know the mayor, like don't even know our mayor's name, stuff like that, because we are for justified reasons. That's not our focus. We trying to pay a bill. We trying to take care of kids. We trying to figure out what we're gonna eat tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of it has to do with getting really important information to that part of my community, which is 95% of my family. So using my passion is to invest in my purpose, which is to give necessary and truthful information to my community, so they can make a right choice for themselves, make an educated choice about what they want to do in their lives.
Right.
Just give them, and to me, that's how I give them the opportunity, is just to give them the information, because they don't even know it.
The education system, Tanyelle, in Louisiana.
That too. Mm-hmm. Oh, God.
Terrible.
Yeah.
And I come from a family of educators, so I know hands-on. Just that's why, like, teachers, my heart, like, I can't wait to be able to spoil y'all one day.
We can't
Seriously. Like, I can't wait to spoil my mom. Like, she just been given so much of herself, most of her life, and my grandfather and even my dad, like, they've all been in education most of my life, and it just takes so much, and they give a lot and they receive nothing. An apple, like, who started that? What?
I don't know where that came from.
Apple. Give them a raise. Give them a basket of fruit. Why do it? You know what I mean? Just like, who started this stuff. I'm trying to, and I give a lot of credit to Ava, who's the creator of our show. She inspires me so much with trying to shift consciousness in a way, like the way people think.
Yes, she does. She's one of my.
That's Ava DuVernay, by the way. For people who don't know, she talking about Ava DuVernay, the real.
Oh, I know who she is.
No, I'm talking about the people who gonna watch this. I just wanted them to know.
Yeah,
She's talking about some real people right now. Right?
Seriously, like she just helped. She helps create change in people's minds. She helps build people's confidence. You know what I mean? Like, important fundamental principles to develop character that just makes you feel in control of your life. And for so many reasons, systematic reasons, and all these things, like, we don't. And it's just, for me personally, it's just I feel like that's my purpose, because being honest, I don't want to be the only one at the top. I don't. I want to see my people with me. So that's why I want to do that too.
And like it. Information changes situation.
Amen.
Information changes situation. If you know, then you can change everything. You can literally change the trajectory of your family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They say knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power. You know what I'm saying? Once it's applied. But go ahead, Jay Jones. I'll just take that.
Oh no, I wasn't saying that was all good stuff. The next thing I wanted to bring up is, I guess I feel like y'all all pretty kind people. pretty nice. Y'all 5-year plans. My eyes teared up a couple times, but
Just not when I'm hungry, you know. When if I'm hungry, just stay.
yeah.
That's like my daughter, man. For real, y'all like with the food, boy.
Hangry. It's called hangry.
Hungry, bro. Like,
I don't know who made that Snicker commercial because it gotta be a woman,
Man.
or maybe
Right.
a man. It may be a man from experiencing it from a
That's
woman.
probably what it was.
Yeah.
The woman definitely drove that. Cause my daughter the other day, she started crying for no reason, bro. Like I'm talking like we didn't go to the park when I said we would go. You know, the park's just open. So I'm like, you ain't been going anyway. But then like we go and it was closed. I guess they closed it back down because the numbers went up. We came back home. I'm talking, she bawling, kicking the ground. I'm like, you don't even act like this. And I was
Wow, I ain't never seen you act like that.
I never seen you act like that. So I was like, all right, Cadence. I was like, you want to go Chipotle? She was like, okay. We go.
Right.
Brand new kid. Brand new
Brand
kid.
new kid.
He eating this, kicking her feet while she eating. I'm like, just a burrito? Like, it's all it took. Anyway, sorry.
Anyway,
No, you good. That's sidetrack.
that was my
That's cool.
fault. We got off the
You're
track.
good with the sidetrack, but I was saying like I was thinking like the importance of being a kind person. Like, what kind of blessings y'all think come from that? 'Cause I think,
Woo.
like, you must have something to say. Well, nah, but I think, I mean, even with the Bible, just saying like, do unto others as you want, basically do unto you. So, like treat everybody like a brother, treat everybody like, with respect. What kind of blessings y'all think come from just being like a kind person, a giving person, blessing others? Tanyelle, you look like you had a epiphany.
I mean, well, my natural reaction was everything. That was my natural reaction because it's just like you just being positive all the time. Your mind is it a muscle? I feel like that's what I want to say, but I don't know if that's a right thing to say because I don't
You exercise it.
Work it out.
But-
Work it out.
it's just like once you keep if you keep working at something,
Get stronger.
yeah. And I think it's the same thing with being kind. You keep being kind, you just it builds you up, which will reflect with the people around you. They're gonna feel that. I'm a spiritual person, so that type of spirit, it's going to, your light is just gonna keep getting brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter, and that does nothing but draw people in, and like it draws everybody in, good people and the bad people. But I think another benefit of that is you being positive and you being kind and you being nice. You're able to see when both of those people come in, you're visually able to see if, okay, this is dark and this is light. You know what I mean? You're able to, it builds wisdom, I feel like, in a way. Because you just keep doing it, being consistent, build up that muscle, and then you just become more wise and you're able to make better decisions. And once you make better decisions, then you're going to get what you want, which is the blessings. God wants to give us everything that we want. Like, there's a lot of bad in the world because we're living in the devil's playground. We're of this flesh and all, but I don't focus on that. I focus on, like, God wants to enjoy this. He wants us to have peace. You know what I mean? He wants us to be happy. He don't want us to walk around miserable and stuff like that. He wants us to have these blessings, and you just have to make the choice. You have the power to do that. That's why we have free will. It's all up to you. You have the power, then you have to wake up one day and just do it and just like say, okay. And the day I had that revelation, I was like crying. I was like, because I've been wondering why everything's not going right and all these type of things. I'm like, wait a minute. I can change. Wait a minute. I think I can do that. Let me get up and let me just try it. Let me just do it. And then goes back to the risk thing. Take risks. That's the part of risk. You just never know until you try. And the day I started just decided to be a better person. And today I decided to focus on growing and just giving love no matter what people give me.
Yep.
It made me more wise and made me see clear. And now that's how I am. I believe that is why I am where I am today.
What about you, Ayona? What you feel like?
Well, the first thing that came to my mind was the movie Pay It Forward. That's what I thought about. Have y'all seen that movie before?
Mhm.
Pay It Forward?
I don't think I have.
Okay, never mind.
I don't watch
All right, anyways.
I don't watch movies.
It's an older movie, but it's about kindness. It's about kindness. It's a really good movie, but
Yeah.
sad at the end. So if you watch it, you might need some tissue. But for me, I think that when I think about kindness, the first thing that comes to my mind is I gotta start with myself, because if I'm having a bad day and I'm miserable, I'm depressed, I'm upset, that energy is going to flow onto other people. So I feel like it kind of starts with yourself. What I'm trying to get into the mindset of, even if I am having a bad day, I try not to become upset. Like the other day, my garage like literally came off track and the whole garage fell. And I just moved in this house, a few weeks ago. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to get a new garage door. It cost me a whole bunch of money. But, I thought to myself, I thought about the positive. I said, you know what? It won't happen again. I bet you it won't happen anymore. I'm gonna just be positive about it, because if I get upset about it and somebody calls me, I'm gonna go off. I'm just gonna be mad and just take my anger out on the other person, and I don't want to do that. So I'm actually working on myself and trying to always be positive about everything, even when things go bad. I try to think about the brighter side, because at the end of the day, I always say, I'm living, I'm breathing. So that's like the one thing I gotta be blessed about. And if I'm living and breathing, I can just get through it. It's just like something that's just temporary. So I try not to let that stress rub off on others, and I try to just keep positive myself. And that way I can just let it flow to other people around me. And hopefully my energy flows to them, and then from them to the next person, and so forth.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think, even today when I was talking to my friends, I think when somebody see, I didn't want to say crackhead friends, but my people I spoke to today.
Oh, the people at work. You can say people
Yeah.
at work.
My clients.
Friends, I was like,
No, my clients. My clients.
You made
My
that more than what it was.
The clients, all right? The client. No, but they said that they could see like Tanyelle kind of said, like a light, like the happiness, the kindness, they can see it. So I think sometimes like just like y'all saying, like going out there and being positive. I always tell people, as long kind of what you said, Ayona, as long as I'm breathing, even if something go bad, I have a chance to change it. Like God bless me to wake up, get up and take my breath. So I have a chance to fix whatever is messed up, you know what I'm saying? So if I woke up, even if I woke up, like you said, I woke up, good day, got dressed, took a shower, looking good, feeling good, walk outside, tire flat, it's like, hey, it's frustrating. But, I'm alive, I'm gonna be late to work, whatever. But guess what? Tomorrow I come in early and get that, whatever I was late on, I come in early and fix it. Because God gave me that chance. He gave me that chance to get up and, get up and fix. So I tell everybody, it's never, ever, ever over. I don't care if you didn't dig yourself in the 10-foot hole. If you wake up the next morning, you can make it a 9-foot hole. And then, gradually go to where you dig, you filled that hole, you standing on top of it now. So I try to tell everybody that, never, my thing is never, ever give up. I used to play football, obviously, if y'all watch this, y'all know this, but in the fourth quarter, we was down by 14, whatever. I used to be like, shh, it's 10 minutes on the clock. It had to be 1 second on the clock, and we had to be down by more than 2 scores for me to be like, okay, we lost. Like, I hate giving up. I hate giving up. So I try to instill that in people I speak to, I talk to, stay positive. I try to be kind. Respect is really one of my favorite words. Kindness and respect, because it's like, I try to come off as respectful to everybody I meet. I want the first thing is to be like, hey, how you doing? Show love, because I used to be, Kerry knows this, when we used to work at this office together, I was closed off. It was like, I wouldn't speak. Kerry go speak to everybody. I'd be in my office, door closed, like, I don't know them people. Like, I don't know them like that. I ain't speaking. So I actually learned from Kerry is you learn, being kind, you can learn something from somebody. You can meet somebody and it's kind of like, it's almost networking. So, you can learn something. Like what Paul said that day, Kerry, networking's is always opening the door. You can never close it or something like that. I wish I could quote it perfect, but.
You can never shut a door through meeting a new person, basically.
Right.
I think it was those lines. But,
that's crazy. I like what you said when you said, just like a little nugget within that is acknowledging how you feel, like not saying that you're not, you can't get mad. I'm not saying we're not saying like you can't get mad, not saying that it's, like I said, it's going to be easy, but I love that you like acknowledge, okay, I'm frustrated right now, but you didn't let that defeat you. How do you like not, sorry, you have to say yours. I just thought of a question.
You going, go.
I'm about to say Sloan. Well, go ahead. What's the question? Then we can get to Sloan. Yeah.
How do you, even though you, okay, that's your process, you're being nice, but then something happens that you didn't expect and you're frustrated, and then you end up going back to the positive thought, okay, I'm gonna get this. But what does that moment look like when you're frustrated? How do you get out of the frustration? Because sometimes that stuff is easier said than done, to get back to the positive stuff.
Right. The frustration usually with me, I'm good at, like, if it's terrible, I'll walk away from the situation, and I will kind of like try to recharge, try to get away. I always think before I speak. The thing about me is I used to speak before I thought sometimes, but now if I feel like I'm gonna say something that I shouldn't say, I'll walk away, get away from the situation, kind of like calm myself down, and then come right back, and then I'm feeling like nothing happened. I'm like, hey, buddy. Or if it's the tired thing, I'll probably say, you know what, God, I did ask you for patience the other day. So it's something like that. Like, cause I always ask for patience, cause I used to punch my steering wheel in traffic, but now it's just like, maybe this is stopping me from, shut up, Kerry. But I did, man. But
that's a real hot hand stuff to say. I tell you what, I've done it for sure. I've done it.
He laughing because he relate.
It's like, but maybe it's stopping me from being in the wreck. You never know what God is doing. So I really just try to keep it with that.
Yeah.
I think what that reminded me of when you said remove yourself from the situation is almost like you detoxing yourself of the bad thoughts. Like you're trying to get it out. So you like, okay, let me just remove myself. And my whole thing is with the, being kind. I don't think there's inherently, because Tanyelle,
you went from Chanel to
my bad. I done killed your name about 30 times. Anyway.
Y'all, or everyone, you can call me my nickname. That's easier, and I love my nickname too, and my name, but that's an option. Just let you know.
What's your nickname?
Tanny.
All right, Tanny.
Yeah.
So Tanny, you had said something about bad people coming around, and you can filter, and you can tell when the energy's not right.
Yes.
And I agree with that as well when you talk about being kind, because like when you you're trying to give out that good energy, you trying to, do right, you showing love to people when you don't have to, things like that. You do attract all these types of people. I don't necessarily believe though that there's inherently bad people. I think these people just don't really understand that their thoughts patterns are terrible. You know what I'm saying? Like
I call them broken, but
broken.
But I get what you're saying.
Yeah, low frequency thought patterns. Like your thoughts are literally like you always thinking, you always jealous, you feel ashamed of yourself. You don't think you're enough. So the stuff that comes out of your mouth, the way that you act is real. Like you don't like people that are high energy. They kind of like they off put a little bit, but you gotta keep showing them love too, because they need it more than the people that are kind. You know what I'm saying? Because when they see that from you, they're like, why is this person showing me so much love? What is it about this person that I can take and I guess have half of that happiness? Because, sometimes we gotta fake it till we make it. If you really out here showing love like that, you can't just always feel great. Some days you ain't feeling it. I don't want to talk to y'all. I really am about 2 seconds from cussing you out, and I'm a believer. Like I ain't, but I'm gonna cuss you out, bro. Like, cause I'm frustrated. But just like the moon, you got waning and waxing seasons. You know what I'm saying? Like you going through the motions of the seasons. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta make a conscious decision to consume the right stuff. You know what I'm saying? If you know it ain't right, keep it out your body. If you know it ain't right, keep it out your body. If you know the words you saying are crazy and you using all this negative language, check yourself. Like you gotta literally there's sometimes, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, and this is where I'm at, with my whole trying to get spiritual thing, I check myself in the middle of my conversation. I'll be like, I just say that. I'll be like, everybody be talking. I'll be like, oh man, I gotta check myself. I gotta regroup, because I know if I keep that energy up with the power of my tongue, I'm gonna start manifesting some of that stuff I'm talking about. Like, some of it's gonna start coming in my life, and I don't want to see that. I don't want to see any
in some way, shape, or form.
some way, shape, or form.
Yep.
It's gonna show up. It's gonna show up. The universe said it know what's going on. Like, and I attribute a lot to God. God has given me everything I got, man. But I also know that as I'm out here with my brothers and sisters, I gotta make sure that I'm giving them the best version of me, so that we can, we can all progress. Because it's a lot of hate going.
Yeah.
That's what's popping on social media. You know what I'm saying? You see people getting the fire slapped out of them. You know what I'm saying? Everybody liking it, and TikTok, people, all types of different stuff. People talking about this race talk and all this. I'm like, bro, like, yes, I'm for the awareness, but at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? I really want us all to come together. Like, I do. I really, really, really do. Yeah. I want to see a solution to everything. You know what I'm saying? I want to pride myself in being a problem solver. If my life is hard right now, and I know it's hard for me to be kind to you, and I know my days, it's like, man, I'm like, how am I going to get through the day? I want to pride myself in finding a solution to fixing it for me, so I can end up, doing that for other people. If I can fix it myself, I can fix it for other people. Because heal people. So that's kind of what, you know what I'm saying? That way. So.
No, but yeah, I think, and even, I know, Kerry, you worked in the mental health field, like even teaching relaxation techniques. Yeah. I mean, I know, Tanyelle, I know you say, I think you meditate. I know you, man. I know you meditate. And
do not disturb. I'm meditating.
Right, yeah. So, and I mean, even sometimes some people just need breathing techniques, or some grounding techniques you can teach. It's just ways to, when something happens, I know some people, you might look crazy, but you might have to be like, before I snap, just calm down, and sometimes talking to yourself, you might look, but whatever works. It's different ways to get around it. But I always say more stress doesn't do anything but hurt the situation, you and the situation. I mean, stress is a silent killer. So, I mean, when you stressed out, and then you stressed out, now you messing up the, when you calm down and try to fix it, usually fix it. When you're stressed out, you're probably messing it up more. You know what I'm saying? Pushing the car, kicking the car, what's it gonna do?
Or you just not get anything out of it, which is still bad. You know what I mean? You just you definitely get the better outcome of whatever all the options. You're gonna get the best one, by just keeping a calm and being grounded.
Trying to.
It's hard.
It's hard. And that's what I'm saying. It's not easy. And that's why I say it's different ways. It's different ways for everybody. I'm not saying my way is the way. Maybe you can do some research on grounding techniques, relaxation techniques, coping strategies for stress. It's stuff you can read. Google some stuff fake, but try to find some good stuff for you. And it's different ways to get around that. But stress is probably not the way to go. It's a silent killer. It's headaches and body aches and everything that come with that. So.
Yeah. I just wish people will choose to want to figure that out, because that's the thing. We can feed, we can help inspire as much as we can. We can talk till we're blue. We can hold our breath and meditate as long. But people, at the end of the day, they have to make the choice to want to do it, to want to be better. So that's the part that's, for me, I cringe at, because I just want everybody to be happy. You know what I mean? Love and be nice.
But you know what? Your example is what's gonna make that happen, though. You know what I'm saying? That's the most powerful influence, is your example.
Me continue to focus on me and make sure I'm good, and just know that that's going to connect eventually to somebody. Yeah,
that's gonna be the most powerful. You know what I'm saying? People don't necessarily always listen to what you say. You know what I'm saying? They ain't trying to hear it. But once they see it and they kind of watch you, that's when they start to kind of mimic you, and then you like, oh, you are catching something. And you gotta just be like, okay, like, there we go. Like, that's it. That's what I was looking for the whole time. I was trying to tell you, but now you watching it. So it's like, okay, I need to keep going. I gotta keep, I know you watching me now. And it could be anybody, man. You know what I'm saying? We role models for people we don't even know that we're role models for in that regard.
But Sloan, you being a coach, talk about how your position room Talk about that, because I know you told me, because you was out in Oklahoma, and when I went to Montana, you was like, those boys don't act however you act. So,
Yeah.
give me an
Yeah, with the kids, man, they literally they're like your kids, you know, your kids. Like, so literally from the way that you talk to the way that you walk to the way you handle with the stress situations, the way that you treat, you know, the lady in the hallway, the secretary, like they literally just take everything from you, because the ones that are like bad kids, or the ones that they ain't got it together, you know, and the ones that everybody like, oh, don't worry about him, he's not gonna do right. That's the one that's gonna watch you the most, because his home or wherever he came from or what he's used to doesn't look like what you're doing. So he's like, he just watches. You know what I'm saying? He may not be doing what you're doing, but he just watches. And I know that was me. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Ayona, what you got going on? You doing?
I was about to ask you.
My bad.
I was
I had to get my charger on my laptop.
Anyway,
about to start getting it.
I had to get my charger.
But nah, that was me though. That was me growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like when I had my coaches, the ones that was really doing what they had to do, they was loving their wives and their kids. Like I used to see it and I'd be like, man, like, you know, I was still sagging my pants and, you know what I'm saying, I was still smoking weed and doing crazy stuff, but I felt like one day, I was like, man, that's a possibility for me. You know what I'm saying? I just felt like, you know, like, I don't know, maybe I could be a family man. And then later on, now at this point, as a man who I am, I still remember some of that stuff I saw them doing. I'm like implementing it daily. And I wasn't doing it, you know what I'm saying, 6-7 years ago.
Yeah.
So, you know, I just think it's important that we just kind of create that example. You know what I'm saying? Just continue to create your example of what you want to see in this world. You know what I'm saying? Let's not keep talking about it, because, you know, everybody ain't going to listen. Everybody trying to hear you. Some people not going to listen to you just because, like, they just going to hate. Like, they just don't, she don't know what she's talking about. He don't know what he's talking about. All right, I'm going to do me. You know, you take it or you don't, you know?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But you're right. You were so right about that. When I went to Montana, those kids went from passive and nice to aggressive, still nice, respectful. But they were all like, I'm like, what is this? They act like me. Like, they trying to get everything. I go in the office, they be like, oh, I'm ready to hit somebody. I'm ready to hit somebody. I'm like, that's what I've been wanting you to say, but
wait, they didn't say that.
Well, yeah, I was a proud papa. Like, I had me 8 Montana kids. Great kids, man. But I guess we kind of hit this already. I mean, it's just a different way to say it. But how does how you act attract your friends or the people around you? Like, basically, we kind of hit on it, but like how we act. Kerry, you say bad people ain't bad people, whatever, or you don't call them good or bad people.
Mm-hmm.
But what you say? Broken. So lately, I've been around a lot of broken people.
What?
Broken. Not. I mean, the job I'm at right now.
Oh, right. My mind was to like personally too. I was like, what?
No.
Wait a minute.
No. The job I'm in.
Yeah.
A lot of people need help, and I think, like Kerry's saying, I think my example is more than what I say. I think me going out there every day and just smiling, it's like, man, what are you doing? Like, why are you so happy? Like, and most of the time, I'm not gonna lie, I know you ain't supposed to talk about religion and everything, but I tell them, I'm blessed. Like, God this, God that. I feel like God used a lot of favor in my life, because I was not perfect. Sometimes I was really bad, but I never got caught. But I mean, that's really what happened. It was like,
turn
sometimes
around.
I was like, dang, why did that happen to him? I was doing the same thing he was doing, and that happened to him. But I never even got caught, or never even got talked to, or people never even expected that of me, type thing. It was like, well, not Jerell, but this guy's, you know, everybody thinks that of him. We're in the same circle, you know, and we do the same things. But it's just like God always had like a bubble around me sometimes, you know. It seemed like every time I did something, I'd be like, man, that was pretty stupid. But it's like I never got called never got in trouble. People never expected it of me. And now, I mean, like Kerry said, now that I got older, I reflect on those things, and it's just like, man, thank God, really, because I never got a ticket. I never been in jail, anything. But it's like I could have been, I could have been a lot worse than what I am right now.
You know how it could have been for sure, and you thankful, you grateful, because you see people on the other side of it. And then, you know what I'm saying, Jay Jones, I want to twist a little bit when talking about like with relationships, like how sometimes people like that, you know, like I said, heal people. Well, the same inverse happens with hurt people. Hurt people. So, you know what I'm saying? You get relationships where, you know, people that are hurt, they got trust issues and things like that going on. And they got, you know, all this stuff they've been through, trauma, maybe abuse, all that. And they go out and they look for people with maybe similar things going on, and they just try to just hammer them. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like that energy. It's like the energy you putting out. You don't focus on the solution for you. You know what I'm saying? You're not trying to go get counseling. You're not trying to talk to the right people to kind of repair those holes inside of you. You just looking for somebody to beat up on, just like you got beat up on. And what it does is it's like we was talking about, you manifesting that negative environment for you. Now, you know, if you're a woman and you're going through that type of trauma, now you putting yourself in a situation where you get prostituted, you know what I'm saying? You getting pimped, and you in a situation where, you know, you using drugs, things like that, all because of some childhood trauma that maybe if you had taught somebody about, you wouldn't have been in this situation. Same for males, you know what I'm saying? Drug users, you know what I'm saying? Gangsters, stuff like that. You know, these cats that they just literally start manifesting that negative stuff that happened to them, and they never turned it around because they just like, you know, they got lost in that world. You get lost. Everything starts looking like what's inside of here. It just starts looking like that. It starts to create. It's just like, before you know it, you in the trap. You know what I'm saying? You got you in the trap, just like that. And you just sitting there like, man, like, well, this all I got now. You know what I'm saying? But you could have done some things beforehand.
Yeah.
We gotta help. We gotta help with that, though. You know what I'm saying? If we feel like we get it, or we feel like we're kind of figuring it out, we gotta help other people figure it out. You know what I'm saying? The best way to help ourselves is to teach. You feel me? Like, that's the best way to help ourselves, to reinforce the behavior for us, the kindness, the love. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I see it. That's how I see it when you're talking about, you know, the people around us benefiting from our energy versus, you know, like we take it from them. And we bringing them down because we've been through some of the same stuff. You know, we both trauma, you know, got all these problems. So let's stay together and just dwell in shallow water. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, come on, man, let's not do that.
I think that's our responsibility as adults now, you know what I mean? Because a kid won't be able to call that out like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have to tell them from when I personally feel like we have to start instilling that in our kids, which I don't have any, but one day when I have my own kids, I would definitely love to instill, even when I'm teaching them how to talk, you know what I mean? You know, you can tell me about your feelings. You know, you can always come to me and express to me like how you feel, and trying to just, we have to take our roles and to be able to see that when it happens, that we have to be okay enough for ourselves, because it starts with ourselves. So we can be able to, if we're okay with ourselves, we're able to help other people and give other people, because our cup won't be empty because we've been focused on ourselves to keep it full. And then we're able to yet again clearly see darker light, or, oh, this kid is going through something. Let me approach them in a way where, in the best way possible, to where they're coming to me with their wall down. Right. You know what I mean? So it won't be that tragic trigger moment that's detrimental for their whole lives. Because I feel like we all have that one moment in our life. I feel like if it went a little different, our life probably could have been a little different too. Mm-hmm. You know, we all have that one moment. And I think it's now, I feel like now that we're talking about it, I feel like this is not my first time having this type of woke conversation. I feel like I've been falling into these conversations more. I just hope that we are noticing that now that we're talking about it, we have to hold ourselves accountable and make sure we're doing that. From our niece and nephew that we may see every day, to maybe we see once a year, to the little kid on the corner when we go inside to pump our gas, you know what I mean? Just to always exude have that type of intention and that type of awareness when interacting with little kids.
I like that you talked about that. 'Cause I think that a lot of students, I see so many kids like come to school and they're like kind of depressed. I've had like a lot of girls on my class crying. It's like they don't want to talk to me about it. And I'm like, do you want to step in the hallway? And I try to get them to open up to me because I think it's important, especially now with like all these suicide rates that are increasing with these young kids because they're being bullied or because they have nobody to talk to and express themselves. They rather just keep it in and become depressed. And then it leads to suicide or something like that. So I think that, like you said, it starts with yourself. Like if you can be open and honest with yourself, you can be open and honest with other people. And they might say, well, you know, since you're talking about it, since you bring it up, let me tell you how I feel about this. And that's how it really starts. And that's what I try to do with my students. Like I had one girl, like I wasn't expecting this. Like I knew she was going through something. And one day she was like, Miss Dixon, can I talk to you after class? I'm like, yeah, what do you got going on? And I know that she gets bullied a lot. She has a lot of issues at home. So I was glad she came to me. But she basically told me that she wanted to be a boy. And I didn't expect that. Like that was kind of like huge for me. It was like my first year teaching. I'm like, oh my God, I'm a teacher, not a counselor. What do I say to this girl? Like, so I just told her, I said, it doesn't matter what you want to do. I said, if you feel like you want to be a boy, you feel like you want to go through that change, I said, you do that. Don't worry about what anybody else tells you because at the end of the day, you're still going to be you. And after that conversation, she kind of went through the process and she was happier. She was a better person. And I could just see the big difference just in her personality and in her spirit. So I think it's very important to kind of open up to kids and be positive so they can kind of be positive with you and be comfortable enough to tell you what's going on in their lives so they can get that inspiration.
And I think the big thing with me, I say everybody, no matter what age, I think you need a mentor.
Yeah.
At all ages. I mean, right now, you need a mentor. I mean, when I'm 50, I want a mentor. I always want that somebody that's been through it or hasn't been through it, it just has experience in it.
You the game.
To just tell me like, hey man, this is my experience, and you know, you take it how you want to take it. I'm not telling you what to do, but I've done that, and either I went this way or that way. And my granddad, I mean, I probably talked about him a million times on this show, but he's my mentor.
Granddad.
And I talk to him probably 3 times a week. And every time I say what I'm doing or what I'm about to do, he'll be like, whoa, hey, I don't know about that. I don't know about that, but you know, I do that. You know, he's from Louisiana, so but nah, he really kept me on the straight and narrow a lot of times. That's why I think everybody just need that one person they really trust. They can say, cause I can tell my granddad anything. So it's just easy to talk to him, and great advice, and I listen. So
how would y'all feel? Well, who has kids? I know you have kids.
No, I don't have any.
For you, Kerry, and also, I mean, everybody else, because assuming everyone wants kids, whatever. When you say that, I think, because I think about my personal situation and like what my parents, mentorship is so important. I agree with that. And I feel like it's definitely it's a game changer. How would you feel if you're not that person for your child?
Perfectly fine. I mean, I think especially with for me, my daughter is, you know, she's not a male. So I feel like it's a lot more powerful coming from the same sex. You know, like I always think in my head, like, you know.
Or if she feel like she can't come to you at all. You know what I mean? Like that, how do we, as a parent, as the adult, like how do you deal with that? Even if she feel like she can't come to you at all. And I guess I'm trying to create the tension to say if it's even that dire, you know?
You got to facilitate that. I mean, I think as a parent, you got to facilitate that. You got to put those right mentors in your child's life. You got to put those good examples in your child's life, you know, especially if you know it's maybe you and her mother or vice versa, you and his dad can't get it together, right? You know what I'm saying? You go search out a mentor for your child, just like you should do it for yourself. You know what I'm saying? You need to be able to build that for, you know, because we need that. We need that example. You know what I'm saying? The modeling, you know, we teachers. Modeling is the most important part of learning something. You know what I'm saying? Once you see it done the right way, then now you know, and you can kind of create based on that. You know what I'm saying? You can kind of go from there. And I just think it's the blueprint for success. You got to have a mentor or some type of example of how that needs to look. So that's kind of how I would see that 10 years. But I'm at 3% on my computer. I'm trying to over my car, and this conversation has been excellent, man. I appreciate y'all. It's got real spiritual. I mean, I feel like I'm ready to fly up out this joint, to be honest with you. But we gotta have to bounce and have to, you know, I'm gonna definitely have to get y'all back. Ayona, Tanyelle, you definitely got to get back on here, man. You turned us up for real. Jay Jones,
I'm always on here.
Per usual, killer, cold blooded.
Killer.
Ooh. I like that though.
Oh, okay. Like I killed it.
Love killer. Kill him with love.
Love killer. Like a care, like a Care Bear. Shoot out love.
There you go. But man, it's been great, man. Thank y'all so much. Hopefully y'all got as much from it as, you know what I'm saying, we did. You know, y'all killed it. So thank you so much. Y'all have a great evening. And
you too.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this, y'all. I really appreciated it. This was
No problem.
At a crazy day, and this definitely was a good way.
Yeah. Nice to meet you, Tanny. Tanny.
Yes.
Okay.
Chantel,
Ayona.
Tanny, Tanana.
Ayona.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's perfect. I can remember that. That's the costume designer on the show. Her name is Ayona.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Y'all
right.
about to get cut off either way. So.
Okay.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Stay healthy. Thank y'all.
Yes.